The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence.
But like less than two days ago, like within the last 2 days, I remember seeing posts.
"13 races of the 2025 Season 9 campaign of the Nichols Oil Pros Cup Series, and we lead down to one final race. A championship on the line with 3 drivers who have it in their clutches, and a few other outskirts will make this a 1992 era Winston Cup race. But here in the iRacing world, who will be our champion in Season 9? Well, in about 90 minutes to maybe 2 hours, we'll have all the answers here at America's home of racing, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Welcome everybody to PTR TV for today's coverage again of the Nichols Oil Pros Cup Series, their Season 9 finale, again at the, not the World Center of Racing, that's Daytona, at America's home of racing, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Brett, I'll let you say this race title because I really don't want to.
Welcome everybody to the Raw Dog Rumble 125. I don't know why Corey can't say that. I mean, it's hot dogs. Come on, we opened up Raptor Snack Shack, and we're going to serve some Costco hot dogs here for 125 laps at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's myself, Brad Dalton in the booth, joined by Corey Silva, who's pushing the buttons, doing the things, and all right, Corey, have this back, because now we're going to be out of the flow. It's going to get weird. Yeah, let's just run into it.
Of course, I know it's an interesting race name, but it's not the most crazy one we've had. I just wanted to give you that opportunity. But again, 3 drivers here with a chance to win the championship realistically, but with stages and anything that can happen, that number could very well change. But let's go over. Well, let's talk about the sponsorship. Dylan Juicebox, Avril Freeman, and Matthew Pokemon Epting. Well, I'll give them their shout outs and thanks. I combined them, and that would have been pretty bad if I finished that word, but want to thank them for their sponsorship. And Brad, here is what we're racing for. Here is where we stand with the point standings coming into the finale.
So looking at the point standings, doing some math here on the back end as well. It is right now, it's Steve McClendon's to lose. 2 wins here versus Jeremy Brown's 3, but 2 points all the difference. Now, we've seen Jeremy Brown in amazing form here, and William Emmert, don't count him out. He is in the mix, and I mean, nobody's unrealistically out of this in the top 8 if something wild does happen, and we've seen wild can happen, so these guys got to keep their nose clean and go through. But that top 3, that is really where the cookie crumbles. This isn't a Formula One. You know, we're not going to play this one down to the wire, but McClendon, Brown, Emmert, I mean, any of them can win, lose, or difference. We'll just see how it plays.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, stage points on offer, and that very well can make a change here. We got 24 cars strong here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, so that's 24 opportunities to shuffle our point standings and maybe change who will be our Season 9 champion. But that's going to be the end of qualifying. Want to thank everyone for tuning in here, whether it's live or on the VOD. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,900 subscribers. Just need a little bit of help from you guys to help us get there. Being a final race, I'm sure there might be some family watching, whether in live or post. So I want to give everybody their shout outs and their thanks. But let's go down trackside, give you the final points, the final starting grid of the, well, I guess might as well say 2025 as things stand. Sean Bradley going to get the pole position, with Justin Baxter going to roll off outside of the front row. P3 finds back-to-back looking for the turkey, 3 in a row. Steve McClendon, he's going to try to do that with Jeremy Brown. Again, that is a powerhouse championship row number 2. William Emmert, 2 through 5. They're batting hard here with our race sponsor, co-sponsor Matthew Epting in 6th. Keaton Crothers in 7th. Dylan Freeman, the other co-sponsor, in 8th. Rounding out the top 10 is the Wooster and Dan Williams.
Moving on from there, P11, the boss man, Al Corey himself, with Mr. John the Naj Crutchley. And we now know that Corey understands what Naj is. P13, Mark Herzog, Ben Parkham in 14th place. Moving on from there, we go P15. It's the Cat's Meow, Derek Cat with Jason R. Benson. Starting in P16, Michael Hopkins will kick it off in 17th with Zach Nerney, Cat Dad Nerney in P18. P19 here will be Caleb Brown with Caleb Bass in P20. And I'll finish this one off, Corey. Adam Shaw, Tyler Rui Ellis, and then finishing things out here, Michael Seymour, Cameron Kane in 24th place.
Or Cam Kane won that race at the Atlanta Motor Speedway by the thinnest of margins, that thereof a 1,000th of a second. But that's going to be our starting grid. Now let's go and just give you the final, well, the race details here on the evening. 125 laps around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Caution at lap 45 for the stage break. 3 sets of tires, 1 backup car. Our incident caps have been raised very slightly here today, so it will be 14 for a drive through, 20 gets you the boot.
Piece of the race here for tonight. 3 drivers with a shot. As we talked about, McClendon, Brown, Emmert. Those are the 3 to watch there, P3, 4, and 5. Fuel run, 35 laps, 1 to 1.5 second of tire fall off. And, I mean, Corey, back to a normal track, praise be. This is a track that I think is predictable, and I have an idea that, well, this is going to be a fun one to watch here as they come through 3.
Yeah, we've been to a lot of short tracks and slightly obscure tracks over the past month, so back to a standard 1.5 miler. Very quickly, the weather here from Charlotte, you could tell, very cloudy skies, 69 track, 74 air. 122, so if the sun does peep out, that track temp will go up, this track will slicken off. We'll see if that is indeed the case. Championship on the line, race starting here, season finale. Who will raise the crown? Let's start that task off and find out. Green flag in the air at Charlotte.
Everybody getting away well into turn 1 here up front. It is that 77 and the 58 going to hold things on side by side as they go. And that 77 is Sean Bradley making his way through. And just kind of watching everyone to give them an idea of what's going on. P3, P4, that's really the battle you want to watch there. Moving up the track, blocking Jeremy Brown very quickly there. Justin Baxter, I tell you what, he said, I don't care that you're in the run for a championship. I'm going to throw the car at you. Lap 1 down.
Yeah, of course, all the drivers in yellow are the ones that are eligible for the championship. They are in the playoffs, but again, only really 3, Emmert, Brown, and McClendon, have the realistic shot. It'll take a little bit of an outskirt of events here for those other 3 to come into play here. But Bradley, again, up front. Baxter, just because you're not in it, Brad, it's always the thing with racing playoffs. Just because you're not in the playoffs means you're a pushover and you drive to no effort. These drivers, Baxter and Bradley, they want to end the season on a high. As here goes McClendon around the outside.
Baxter there is a driver that is really trying to make his way through and around. And, you know, my thought on that too, and I think you know my thoughts on playoffs, and I'll save that for another day. But, you know, one of the things that playoffs, you know, can encourage is some drivers will take it and say, you know what, I want to stay out of the way. I don't want to cause a problem. And some drivers will look at it and kind of say, you know what, I have nothing to lose. I'm going to race hard because the guy who's running for the championship, he doesn't want to cause problems. He doesn't want to wreck out here. As we watch Epting and Emmert battle it out here. That 405 of Emmert on the high line, Epting in the 18 going low there, and that Siduck psychedelically going down the low line there across the line, and will gain one place. I think the Wooster might gain another right behind.
Thought he was going to go 3 wide here. Again, our cameras here today brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Andrew Cardinale there does some great work, and happy to partner with him here. So check his channel out, Pit Stop TV, but also his cameras out, Whiplash Sim Cams on Facebook. But Wooster trying to get up there. Again, he is behind Emmert. Emmert is, he's going to have some work to do. He's the farthest down on the pylon in the point standings by 7. So if you're going to win, you have to be ahead of everybody else. That's just basic mathematics. But not to be had thus far, as McClendon has other things in mind, and that is the race lead.
McClendon coming through here inside to Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley on the outside there, and that C view forward. Let's see, McClendon does clear. Jeremy Brown has to set his sights forward and a little bit of love being shown to Mr. Corey Silva there as we almost go 3 wide for the lead. Jeremy Brown working his way underneath Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley has been super strong in the playoffs. Can I just give him a little bit of credit here as he's side by side with Brown into 3? Sean Bradley has been super strong in the playoffs, and you got to wonder what could have been for Sean Bradley. Is that a sign for season 10 coming up soon, TM?
Yeah, I remember something happened to him. I think it was a personal situation. He didn't know what races he would be able to make in the playoffs, and just chose to be the sportsman and not take up a spot if he wasn't able to fully partake there. But he certainly would have had it under normal conditions. That is Williams, who had a serious wall contact, and Ben Harcum dead slideways, and we're still having an issue in turn 3. I think Williams must have a broken toe link here. And somehow through all that, we stay under green flag. Now we have a caution. Really nice.
Let's see what happened here. That's the 35 coming through and around, and that's Hopkins as well on the inside.
I think that was. Did he just get loose there? One more gander at it from a slightly more pulled out shot.
I think he did.
Yeah, that was a hospital wobble.
I didn't see contact behind.
And then Harcum. And then Williams again.
I think Harcum just oversteered there.
And then and then Benson. All right, this is an unrelated incident, but this is what actually triggered the caution. Benson, I'm not sure if you're aware, but this isn't the Roval. You don't need to run the chicane.
Oh, come on. The chicane is so much fun. Give him a break here. I have a feeling that is just a tire lockup when he was trying to slow down for the wreck ahead. Maybe just a little bit too much brake early on. It's easy to do, but that is caution number 1. And tell you what, stage break lap 45, this couldn't have came at a better time because it's a 35-lap fuel run.
Precisely. So pit stops, well, ironically, I'm not sure if the pits haven't been opened yet, but they have not been a busy place. And of course, if I have to answer, he's a little far back, but you saw, for Pete's sake, I posted a caricature of myself the other day for entertainment's sake with the line "for Pete's sake," which if you watch the Season 8 Nashville Super Speedway broadcast, you would know that I wasn't very happy. For Pete's sake, my gosh! So it is now crystallized in triple bypass history, but as expected, everybody coming into the pits. Again, this will be presumably for fuel only. I cannot imagine wanting to put a set of tires on at this juncture, but stranger things have happened.
I mean, we said a second to a second and a half of tire fall off here, so it's kind of 50-50, but you only have 3 sets to go 125 laps. It would make approximately 0 cents to put tires on unless you were just so unhappy with the car that you can't stand it. And I see somebody is putting tires on there. I saw the right sides go up for somebody. I couldn't tell who that was, though.
It was the 58 of Baxter. So I am going to say that I'm going to say that it has to be a mistake. Because Because if you do the math, one set's gone. You're going to want to pit lap 45. You're going to want to take some there. And then that means another 35 laps from 45 is what, 80? So that's going to be a very long run to the end with no reprieve. So, but our Larry Mack hats, they mean nothing. As everyone's catching on up here. But again, this is our second full season, Brad, of the Triple Bypass Cup Series. I know we branched out this season into their ARCA Series, and we want to thank the sponsor, Terry Brooks, for that. Couple Xfinity broadcasts. Really happy to be so ingrained in these series, really starting to know these drivers, and feel like it's really helping us cover these races.
Yeah, it really is. And getting to, talk to a lot of the drivers behind the scenes and interact. I've, gotten to talk to Steve McClendon behind the scenes. Ben Harcum is a driver that I know pretty well. Mark Herzog, a lot of the admin, we get to interact with. Al Corey. I mean, it's to the point that you've got a character to kind of match what all of the other admin have. So I don't know if you're trying to throw yourself in the admin hat. I'm going to take 2 seconds here, and these are all of the drivers that have sponsored a broadcast this season: Daniel Williams, Howie Burrows, Sean Bradley, Dominic Zanobi, Brian Cooper, Derek Catt, Mark Gerald, Keaton Carruthers, Matt Harmon, Howie Burrows again, McClendon and Freeman together, McClendon on his own, and then Freeman and Epting, of course, today. And then, of course, as always, a lot of love goes to Tex Nichols for the Nichols Oil Pros Cup Series here. Great to be involved, and they haven't fired us yet, so I assume we're coming back for next season, whenever next season is.
And Brad, I don't know if you've heard this. I've taken great effort in saying it correctly. Not being dyslexic, not getting a lisp on my S's. Nichols Oil Pros. I feel like I've said it right more often than not. I've been trying to give that extra little sprinkle of respect to our pal Tex, who I know he had some stuff going on in the real world, wasn't able to run the back end of the season, but hope to see him relatively soon. But let's have another restart. It's going to be Derek Catt and Sean Bradley. Derek Catt going to fire on off. He did hit. He did not pit, actually, so he's still on that lackluster fuel load, but he's going to try to get it done.
Going green here, coming through and trying to just hold on where we can. I think Derek Catt is gambling a little bit here on a second caution coming out, or he can fuel save like nobody's business, which is also quite possible. We've seen crazier things happen here. I like to think my fuel number sources are reliable, but every once in a while they're wrong. As we come through, continuing up front, Steve McClendon has Sean Bradley batting for him here as Jeremy Brown dropped to 16th place. Don't know if we caught that, but he is way back in the mid-pack here.
He had a 30-second pit stop, interestingly enough. Not sure why. Now, my only inkling is perhaps he sped on entry to the pits. If you speed on the entry to the pits, you have an extended stop. If you speed on the exit of the pits, you have to come back in. So that's all I could think of. But maybe we'll get an inkling of that later on in the show. Here's Nerney to the inside of Hopkins. Nerney seeming to have a good rate of speed now, but almost as if we're at Daytona or Talladega, 2x2, he's stuck.
This is not ideal to be stuck in the position that he is here going through. I mean, side by side at this point, too wide all the way through the field for majority of the field. And then we get up front, things go single file. But the question really does become, what do you do to get a move forward? We're back at a track where all drivers are going to be feeling good. Everybody's going to be feeling strong and competitive and really giving the run. So we just sort of have to watch McClendon up front. He's not going to be able to get away is going to be the main issue for McClendon, as Elton Wu, the Wooster, is going to try to send some Reese's Puffs down the inside. Let's see if he can get a pass done.
Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Actually, remember a TV commercial.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't remember the next part of it. That's teamwork right there. But, yeah, we just talked about the Wooster being an eighth. The only chance he has is to lead as much as he can, get maximum stage points, and also hope that a little negativity sprinkles upon the other two. Now, Brown, I mean, we don't expect him to stay back there. He's currently in 13th. We don't expect him to stay back there, but a little issue of McClendon will be what is necessary for the Wooster. But here comes Keaton Carruthers to the inside. He's won what was it, once or twice here on the season. We always go back to that Portland race, Brad, where basically he had him stomped 3 ways to Sunday, and ultimately that pit issue did not go his way.
Yeah, and that is, that's the big thing. We say it a lot. Races aren't over till they're over. I literally said that. I was watching yesterday a good friend of ours running a IMSA race who blew it on the last lap. Big shout out has to go to one Mr. Cody Bird, who was running a 45-minute IMSA race, and I watched him lose it on the bus stop on the final lap and go from a solid P3 down to P10. So just a reminder that it's not over till it's over, as Sean Bradley there gives me a little bit of a heart attack. Drivers continue to battle this one hard.
Yeah, that was, to talk about, who was it? Chris Daughtry, it's not over. You got to do it right this time around. Well, right into the wall was Crothers, and that was the reaction. Slight overreaction, but better to overreact than underreact, as long as you can hang on to the vehicle there. But everyone continuing on just as they need to. Derek Catt falling back. I think that's just a pace situation here, but he's going to have to pit under green, so that is going to be a massive detriment to him. But still a great job up front by McClendon holding on. Wu hanging tough as well. Again, let's talk about our race sponsor here today, or half sponsor, Dylan Freeman. He hasn't been in the Cup Series in a few weeks due to some things going on in his personal life, moving and such, but back in having a top 10, and I'm going to be nice to him tonight. For now, anyways.
For now, you're going to be nice to him. I'm just going to throw that one out there. I'll give you a little bit of a run here, just in case we can say that we said, for the time being, we were being nice. Down the inside goes Jeremy Brown, moving his way up to P9. Caleb Brown now follows him through. We really get the Browns through together. Okay, so Jeremy Brown took a long pit stop on purpose, so that way he could get with Caleb Brown, so the Browns can go and take on McClendon, because 2 versus 1, obviously the 2 is going to win. There you go. There's the story. There's the drama. All
right. Oh, yeah, Brad, I forgot. I didn't tell you ahead of time. I don't know if the situation will present itself, but I now have another Alicia Keys song pun joke, so maybe we'll get to utter it later in this broadcast. I know. I was just driving along today, but it just came right to me here. As here comes Justin Baxter to the inside of Crothers, and did talk about this in the opening, Brad, that if the sun comes out, the Charlotte Motor Speedway has a massive propensity to change its characteristics of handling here. I think it was at 72 track temp, 76 already, so just a little bit of sunshine here, certainly, especially in 1 and 2. This track might change, and some drivers prefer that slick track, so we'll see who maybe finds it most advantageous.
They do say that a loose car is a fast car, and sometimes just having that little bit of a slick track really, really does help encourage the loose car as a fast car setup. So some drivers, that's just what they prefer, because it does help them get the run going and really get things together. So just keep an eye on those cars as they go, because as this track warms up, as things change here through the race, it can always make things a little bit more exciting and a little bit more chaotic at times, just depending on how things go here. As we're lap 25 of 125, 25 down, 100 to go.
All right, 25 left in our stage, and I was watching here a battle on screen. Caleb Brown, Emmert back there in 13th, the boss Al Corey in 11th, and so it's not a broadcast, Brad, if we don't somehow poke at Al Corey a little bit. But I want to, I think we talked a little bit ago, like a couple weeks ago, about how certain drivers prevail on tracks that require more skill. Al Corey has done great, someone in the wall there in the back. Al Corey did great at North Wilkesboro. He did pretty good at Phoenix. And those are tracks where you kind of use both pedals. And now we're kind of back to a speedway, a little bit, dare I say, easier to drive. And we got a battle for the lead, and we also have a spin. That thought will have to wait.
Not
so that was Derek Catt. Did he itch and cause his own caution, so he didn't have to go pit under green? But while that happened, the Wooster did take the lead. So let's dissect this. Nope, he didn't. I will omit all jokes there. He did not get Michael Waltrips. He got Jeremy Brown.
Let's check out how this happened.
Oh, potentially.
Ouch.
So I think it's going to be one of those classic who came up, who came down things, but hard to tell from that perspective. So we'll just... come on. All right, so let's do our famous backup sound, Brad. This is the point of contact right here.
Okay.
You're the insurance adjuster. Who came up, who came down?
Oh, see, here's the thing. I'm an insurance adjuster. I'm not an admin.
I think he came, if anything, I think Cat came off the wall and hooked down a little bit more. But, again, I'm glad I don't have to make that call. And at this juncture, I don't expect pit stops to happen because there really wouldn't be much of a need to. But again, very, very interesting that the Wooster, Elton Wu, able to take the lead on the long run. That's what's the most impressive, Brett. It was on the long run, and McClendon going off strategy.
Ooh.
That was not on my bingo card. Now, if he takes tires, I am going to be absolutely floored. Because I can't see any reason why to pick. I can't see why. Well, he's trying to flip the stage, but he already had the track position.
But it's so far from the stage. Like if we were...
Oh, God, TV. Yeah. And he's taking tires. I am absolutely gobsmacked.
A lot of guys are doing this. Look at this. Look down the pit lane.
I do just want to quickly... Oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. This was the... I wanted to show the battle for the lead. Here comes Elton. That's weird saying his name. Here comes the Wooster down to the inside. McClendon just got really high and just drove right to the inside. So, nice clean battle for the lead. But absolutely floored. The back of the pack, fully get it. Makes sense. Try something different. Get your track position. But why in a championship battle, when you only need to beat 2 people, would you go so far off strategy? And McClendon will give us a paragraph after the race, whether this works out or not, what his plan was. Actually,
that's the funny part, is that he's going to watch the broadcast back.
We all have an interview anyways. Yo, Steve.
Yes, sir.
So this is going to work as 2 things. First off, you didn't get your stage interview last week, so you got about a lap to do that. But also, a very off-strat call here early in the race. You feeling like you had to do something different?
Not different as much as I just want to be on the offense. And so, I don't know. I just want to be on the offense. So we're going after stage points because I think that's the key. And I'm just going to put her on the wall like we have been and roll it and see where we shake out here in about 15 laps.
All right, and let's go back in time. We'll just go hit the VCR back, Blockbuster, Be Kind, Rewind. We're last week. This is the stage. Say what you're going to say.
We ran up front the whole time. So we had a good stage 1 there. Everything was great. All that. So hopefully run green out here through the second stage.
All right, go get it, boss. Championship on the line. Good luck.
Yeah, appreciate it. Y'all have a good rest of the call. We'll hopefully talk to you here at the end.
Hopefully, we'll see you. So, interestingly, now he says he wants to be on offense. I feel like it's a short-term call to be on offense because I feel like later on he's going to be on defense.
I feel like he's sacrificing this. If he can get a good run here now,
he's in 13th, so he'll 4 to go.
So here's the problem is he better hope that Justin Baxter is his friend. And the reason I say that, Justin Baxter has only been in the league about 6 months. He won at Kern and ARCA, and he's looking dang strong here tonight. I don't know. 15 laps to figure this one out.
I don't know why I thought 4. I thought for some reason I had 35. But yes, we're racing the 45, so he'll probably get up there pretty quickly. We'll have to take a gander at what the fall-off already is on these older tires, but the Wooster, Elton, remember, he got the lead. He drove to the lead on his own. He just passed him the old-fashioned way. So that 5, he knows he needs to be special tonight. And he's trying to drive that very way. Sean Bradley in second, Nerney in third, and let's see what McClendon's doing. He's in the middle of 3 wide here as we're wrecking in the back. Freeman around. And that was Harcum on his...
Ooh, we're not done.
We are not done. And holy fender, look at that fender bouncing like it's on planet Mars. We're just going to watch that fender for a little bit. There it goes.
Okay. Jeez Louise, what a wreck. Let's get a replay of that one here. Coming through. Harcum was coming around. He had a head of steam. And then Cat, Freeman.
Oh! Ooh. That was remnant of Jeff Gordon's wreck in 2007 here. But we have to ultimately see what caused Dylan to go astray more than... Actually, never mind. I said I'll be nice. Oh, he got emerted. He got ice creamed.
Oh.
Tyler Ruelas may have missed that one by a whisker. But let's go on board with Mr. Harcum here. I don't know why I wanted to put extra accent on that, but nonetheless.
I don't know why we're bringing out a Northeast accent here.
I mean,
go
that's
through
where
and
I'm
around.
from.
Yeah, but you don't. You know what?
Oh.
Ouch.
Now I say this lightly, and I say this legitimately. That kind of wreck, we are glad that this is virtual. 2007, Jeff Gordon had that same wreck here at Charlotte, and luckily I think there was safer barrier there, but that same wreck basically took Tony Roper's life here, at Texas. I've never quite understood, and this is just completely off kilter, I've never quite understood why quad ovals exist, because they just create such terrible crash angles for really absolutely no benefit. It's more of a deep thought topic than anything that I expect us to have a conversation about, but anyways.
Sorry, I'm looking over, just trying to figure out here. Stage run will be 10 laps to the stage, 9 laps to the stage. Cautions feel really long here at Charlotte. Just trying to get an idea of where McClendon is going to find himself, because really, McClendon needs to get ahead of Jeremy Brown going through, because as of right now, it's 6 points going to Jeremy Brown for the stage and 1 point to McClendon for the stage. So that would put Jeremy Brown in the points lead at the stage.
I'm so glad you're doing that and not me.
Yeah, I really should have made a spreadsheet before this race, and I didn't, so...
This will leave about 9 laps to go before our stage. So, well, actually, but less than that. 9 or 8 laps to go. Elliott needs to get as many points as he can, because that's his only chance. McClendon, he's going to need to drive through the field. Still didn't really get a perspective on the lap times. I did mean to do that, but we didn't, to see where they're falling off to. How quickly can we expect McClendon to slice and dice through the field? But either way, 1 to green.
And 1 to green coming up as we go. I almost don't know if new tires are making that much of a difference for anyone, to be honest, as bad as that sounds. I'm just sort of trying to get an idea of, where things look. Also, talking through here, where everything is at, and just looking at these Whiplash sim cams, getting an idea of where things are here as we watch the cars come off of 2. There's a lot of pressure on a lot of guys here today to have a good race result. It's kind of impressive here. Nerney just sent me a message and said if he wins the stage and the race, he's still technically in the running for the championship.
And to your point of drivers texting and doing math while driving race cars, but we'll take the information, because we like information, because it means we don't have to do the math ourselves. But either way, this should be an interesting run to the stage. Lap number 45, Elton Wu, Zach Nerney on the inside. Bradley and Mark Herzog, haven't said his name yet, but he is to the outside, getting ready in that Echo Park restart box. Green flag in the air, and let's see if we can get ourselves going.
And everybody gets away well here going into turn one. Keep things moving and grooving up in the front as we stand out and Woo, the Wooster, holding on here. Sean Bradley going through, and P3 there, Nerney going along. Herzog in a strong fourth place, but Jeremy Brown there in P5 where he needs to be right now, holding on as that 51 of McClendon trying to work the high side there around the spicy car of Caleb Brown. We'll see if he can work his way through. He's going to give it the old college try, see what he can do here in that Catamount Solutions cars. He's got Justin Baxter for company back behind.
And let's look at him going to the outside lane and not making the progress, like you said. Not necessarily, not that he's slow, but he's just not as fast as he probably would have hoped on those fresh tires. Maybe this time by, oh, that's Keaton Crothers. That's a championship playoff driver. Maybe not in the immediate threat, but still a threat nonetheless. Kind of ran him out of space there. I mean, didn't do anything wrong, but surely not helping his causes here. But let's take the lap times on our ticker here. Left side of the display, 28.96. And 2/10 off for McClendon. A lot of that may have been because of that little faux pas, had to back off, but now he's looking to the inside of Crothers, and then Jeremy Brown himself. Try to go Bob's your uncle, 2 for 1. McClendon on a mission, and he will clear.
McClendon ahead of Jeremy Brown. That is one big hurdle checked in McClendon's drive for 3. That is the one thing that I'm kind of reminding myself here as we look to Mr. Two-Time is trying to go 3-time here, which is easier.
Brown. Opening up an IHOP. He just absolutely pancaked the outside wall, Jeremy Brown, off turn number 2. Boom. That was not a kiss. That was a full makeout session.
That was a curb stomp is what that looked like. That was rough there. We'll see if there's any damage on that car as he goes through. He is now behind Justin Baxter, who is trying to just follow McClendon. McClendon on the outside here of Nerney. We'll see how hard Nerney defends. He's going to squeeze up on the exit of 2, but not too much of a problem. He'll slide him behind McClendon. McClendon now up to P4, 5 laps to the stage, and 3 cars for McClendon to pass.
And he should get there with relative ease this time by. Well, not this time by, but probably within 2 laps. I can let you know that he ran a lap time only about 0.2 of a second faster than what the Wooster ran last time by. He has 2 positions to gain in front to have a chance, and only 3 laps to go. He's going to get by Herzog with relative ease, and now he's going to get by Bradley as if he was just standing still right there. So, Woo, you're going to have a massive battle on your hands, one that I don't know if you can hang on to, but he ain't going to go down without a fight.
Nah, Woo will fight it hard here. We'll see if the Reese's Puffs can give him any sort of extra energy there. Of course, that peanut butter chocolatey goodness on the car coming through. Jeremy Brown holding steady in P7 here at the moment. And the one thing I am also watching is that 405 of William Emmert sitting in P12. He's been running in a 3-wide battle with Al Corey, Keaton Crothers in that mix. They have not slowed down, and I hate to say it, if that ice cream sundae melts out of talent and it gets splattered on the floor, Emmert might be in a very bad spot, all things considered. If I was him, I would want to get out of that battle.
Yeah, but that's where he is, so can't quite just pick your places there. Got to be where you got to be. And here, speaking of being where you got to be, down to the inside lane, McClendon trying to wrap that blue line. Woo trying to get the run off the top. If he can get him pinched down, he has a fighting chance, but he needs to be right on that right rear quarter panel. But not quite, just doesn't have it. But again, you got to think of the long-term play here. McClendon's going to have to stay out, most likely. Maybe top off the tank, but he's not going to have the tires. He's going to be at a 15-lap detriment at some point during this race, and that could swing back in Woo's favor.
I mean, as we can see, too, 15 laps makes a massive difference on tires, because that's about the difference right now between McClendon and Wu as they sit, is about a 15-lap difference there. But there is a little bit of the driver dynamic coming in as well, because Justin Baxter pit the same time as McClendon, but Justin Baxter is sitting back in P5. Baxter won at Kern County in ARCA, and he's now upgraded himself here in his...
Cat takes out the boss.
Well, somebody's getting fired.
Caught that one live, so I would like to give myself producer points here. Caution should be out in a jiffy or a whisker or a skippy. There it goes. Caution out. McClendon gets it. Wu did everything he could do, but not quite enough, but still has to be proud of what he exerted there. Jeremy Brown has to suffice for 8th, and that is surely going to be, what is that, -8, -7 math. So now he's going to be basically needing McClendon to have an utter failure.
He is, and I think the problem is that you're asking for Steve McClendon to have an utter failure, which is, how do I say this politely?
He's not a cow, so how could he have an utter failure?
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that one. That one makes
How is there not a little drum thingy on our soundboard here?
I thought we had one. Do we not?
Indeed.
Oh, we have that though. Okay.
There's a couple I can't play for reasons of language, but again, the thing that I'm still interested in, Brad, is I don't know where Steve is going to bite the bullet on this tire strategy. Is it going to be right now? Is he going to put the, suffice and run as long as he can on the next stint? Because at some point, he's got to pay for taking that set of tires 15 laps early.
So here is my crew chief hat coming on, which is where I tend to find myself with these races because I don't have enough talent behind the wheel. And I think he's doing it. It's pit for fuel. I think you pit here for fuel, you bite the bullet on the tires, and you wait till the next pit cycle and get a set of tires.
And the problem is going to be he's going to lose so much time, so much position. And I guess the worst case scenario, Jack's not going up, does as we expected. The worst case scenario for Steve is that this race runs green. That is the worst case scenario, because he's going to lose all that time and he's not going to have a chance to catch up or even pray to get on even keel with the rest of the drivers. So if you're Steve McClendon, you need, I don't know, I'll have to put more thought into it. But either way, Emmert has the lead right now via staying on the racetrack.
So, live points update here for everyone. McClendon currently at 2,095 points. Brown is at 2,086 and Emmert at 2,082 after their stage finishes. None of them get any points for fastest lap right now because currently the fastest lap belongs to Justin Baxter.
Yeah, 28.58.
So, with that being said, right now it's a 9-point swing between McClendon and Brown. It's really going to come down to finishing position, and did McClendon gamble this strategy right? Or do all three of them have a faux pas, and then magically we throw someone else in the mix?
So if he can go 35 laps, let's just say we're at lap 50, that puts him at 85. So that's a set of tires at 85. But again, he's going to be at a detriment. I wouldn't be surprised if he falls back to 10th, if not more. And then we go 85 plus 35. That puts us at 110. So basically, there's one guaranteed stop in this race that you cannot take tires on. But for him, he's going to have to go to 85, but he's going to be crying on his way to 85. That's just kind of where we stand here. So I'm going to back my brain off a little bit because it's starting to overheat, like a Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death model. That's where my brain feels right now. But coming to lap number 50, why do we have Adam Shaw? You're Adam Highline Shaw, not Adam on the apron Shaw. I think we're dealing with black flags and Getting ourselves sorted here, but let's get sorted quick because we got to restart right around the corner.
I don't know if you saw this, Corey, but McClendon just sent us a message, and all he said was, "How about that?" So McClendon very clearly feeling good here, and you don't get to be a two-time. Yeah, probably, but I will say for McClendon, you don't get to be a back-to-back Cup champion competing for a three-peat here if you don't have a little bit of skill to suffer on some tires. We'll see how he goes here as the pace car pulls off. We head towards that Echo Park restart zone, lap 50 of 125 when they cross the line, and let's send this one green with Emmert running some ice cream and McClendon with that Catamount Solutions to the outside.
And again, he stayed on the racetrack, Emmert. So again, this is another strategy. He is doing the opposite of McClendon. He is trying to save a set of tires. McClendon used a set of tires. He's going to have to stretch it. Emmert is also going to be struggling, but for different reasons. He wants to have the strategy set on the wall for the late race situation. So again, if you can't beat him on speed, which that's Everett tonight. He's not going to win on speed. You got to win on brawn, on strategy. Elton Wu, I think he can win this race on speed, and he's taking the conservative route. That's what I would do. But McClendon, like you said, back-to-back, going for Mr. Three-time. He knows how to get things done. It might not make sense to us, but makes sense to him. And you know, to say it nicely, he knows more than we do.
I mean, this is the big thing is, you know, for the drivers, they're going to have something in their head. The biggest thing for the drivers that I worry about is not calling an audible when you need to call an audible. And I think that is one of the things that benefits McClendon over others, is that McClendon knows when to call that strategy audible, as we see what he's doing right now. I think for Elton Wu, he should have called an audible, and he didn't, and he stayed out here. Or Emmert, sorry, not Elton Wu. For Emmert, he should have called an audible and done something different, and he didn't, and I think it's going to put him in an interesting spot. Right now, McClendon is just on conserve mode. He's on save mode. He's on hold on mode. He's not going to be worried about any of these positions he's losing because, again, he's thinking long term. He's thinking into the race strategy. And I would say right now, you know, we're lap 53 of 125. He's got plenty of time to work a strategy through. He knows on a fresh set of tires he can work his way back through the field. So he's just got to kind of hold himself out of any drama, out of any mess. If he can hold himself ahead of Jeremy Brown, it'll keep him in a better place. Yeah, we'll just see how he does here.
He's not going to be able to. Jeremy Brown's on the straight strategy. So McClendon, again, he's on survival. He has to get to 85 with as minimal damage as possible. Not physical damage, time damage. He needs to get to 85 to the point where everybody else takes their next set of tires. He's on 15-lap older tires than everybody else, so he needs to get back to that equilibrium point, and that's going to be the next pit stop around lap 80 to 85. So he is, to say it nicely, he's in Alicia Keys mode because he keeps on falling, but again, that's predicted based on his tires, and I said he'd fall probably around 10th, but he's already essentially there. And we'll see how much farther that 51 falls, and hopefully not too far back on the stopwatch, Brad, because again, if this race goes green, he's not going to be able to get that time back unless he can put it into a mythical 6th gear.
It's very hard to say. It's, again, you know, we're talking about Steve McClendon here, who is legendary as his own right, but there are limits to what he can do. And right now, looking up front, I mean, even William Emmert started to drop off the train here, and we can see up front Elton Wu and Herzog battling it out as they go along, and Herzog with a light tap to the wall, but he's running P2 right now, which is beautiful position for him as the 10 of Hopkins now goes through down the inside of McClendon. McClendon now officially on the back end of the top 10.
If that is the 10 being in the 9th spot, and behind that, Dylan Freeman. I think Dylan, did he take out the backup car? Answer is no. So obviously that little issue was rather insignificant. And interesting big turn of events here. Jeremy Brown is disconnected from the world at present now. So that is a potential just championship white flag there, so to speak. 21st, you can see on the graphic when it flips by the 21st spot, he's in the pits. He is not registered in the world right now, in the sim racing Charlotte environment now. So, and if he does spawn back, he's going to be multiple laps down.
You gotta be kidding me.
I wish I was. Now, I always have, Brad, and you know me. I'm down with OPP. Yeah, you know me. I have two different ways to look at things. I can find a good or a realistic turn of events, and I have what I think the reality is. Would you like me to say the reality one or the make it sound pretty one?
Reality, because it's you, Corey, let's be honest.
I think he probably knew he wasn't going to win the championship and just said, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. And again, I don't want to put words in anyone's head. I'm thinking of it from me. If I know I can't win and I got a damaged car, I'm slow, or I'm off strategy, whatever it is, meh, could be. Or maybe he ran. Maybe he ran out of internet. Maybe he forgot to refill the internet. Maybe the internet went out, or some family emergency. But again, we've seen plenty of times drivers just pull it off when they know that, it ain't meant to be. It ain't meant to be.
See, Jeremy Brown isn't that kind of driver, though. So I really think this is a case of an internet issue, or he's wrecked, or something that's absolutely.
I'm looking here. Because he was like, we knew he was 50. He was the point situation. He was 8 back, so his championship was basically just eradicated. Did get a.
Yeah, that. I mean,
I'm looking here
if he
for
finishes,
a trigger, but I don't have any triggers of anything. There's Nerney and Baxter having a little situation here.
I just.
Oh wait, no, hold the phone, hold the phone.
Oh gosh.
Put it on hold. Put it on hold.
Did something happen?
Allegedly.
Okay.
It could be. All right, I think so our overlay software thinks because. All right, we're on replay.
Okay, so he's there with McClendon.
It
which
says
is fine.
it thinks he crashed. Now we're gonna go in fast motion mode here because I know there is live race going on. There he go.
Gone.
No. All right. So Jeremy, I hope you watch all of this and not just the part where I said that I thought you were a poor sport, because you weren't a poor sport. You forgot to fill up the internet and it ran out.
Well, that is heartbreaking.
I'm a poor sport.
I'm
a poor sport. I'm just going to be completely blunt. If I knew I had no chance, I was down 20, my car wasn't handling right, and I wasn't having fun, I probably would have pulled off like a poor sport. So I'm not meaning to throw my own poor mental situation on everybody else. But here comes Sean Bradley going for second.
See, and this, kids, is why I'm in the booth and I don't drive. Anyways, with all of that being said, coming through and around, lap 65 of 125, Sean Bradley trying to get his way back up into the front. Nerney running in 4th place here to see where things can go. Back in the back, we have Al Corey and Cameron Kane, who are having a nice little scrapperino for P number 9 as they go through and around here. What?
You've been covering too much Jimmer lately. Oh, Cam Kane in the wall. Dent in the Miller Lite can. Please, no Punterino, Jimmer. I know. How many times did you hear that the other day?
Surprisingly, none. Quite
really?
nicely. But
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was kind of nice, I'm not going to lie.
There's Williams, and technically a playoff driver. Behind that is Naj Crutchley. I don't know why his paint scheme didn't load. This has been an ongoing thing, and I've not been able to figure out why. There's one car in every broadcast the paint scheme doesn't load for. As who is that? Kissing the wall. That was Caleb Bass. But yeah, there's one paint scheme in every race that for some reason does not load. I have not figured it out, but apparently it was Naj tonight.
Sorry, Naj.
It's you. Hi. But anywho, McClendon in 11th. Again, our playoff driver, as he's in 11th, and he ain't done falling yet. Lap time wise, he is running about 4/10 off the leader's pace. That is Benson, that is Williams, the aforementioned Mr. Crutchley getting through. So that'll move him down to 15th, now 7 seconds off the pace. Now, we've seen, obviously, Brad, the last month of races in triple bypass between Martinsville, North Wilkesboro, the Pocono night race as Bradley going to the inside, have been a bunch of kerfuffles. But again, back to, as I said on our keys to the race, this is a normal track. This is the bread and butter of motorsport. The best, this is where the next gen shines. A race here going predominantly green, having long stretches, it's not an anomaly. That's what we expect, and seeming to come to fruition here mid-stage.
Yeah, this is 100% what we would expect of these guys, is this long green flag runs. This is what this league was built on here, and this is what we truly expect. There's been plenty of times with this league, you know, I've seen them run Talladega, Daytona 3 wide. I've seen Talladega 4 wide with 0 cautions, you know, at times here in their Cup Series. So this is what we would expect to see from them and go through. So we continue to watch and, you know, see how that affects things. Now, it's not been the norm the last few weeks, as you said, Corey, but, you know, when we get back into the routine, sometimes that throws guys off because they've gotten used to the past few weeks of kind of the craziness that has come out of some of these off-style tracks as it goes through. As Jeremy Brown is back on track, thankfully. And as the producer has confirmed, Corey is a poor sport, not Jeremy Brown.
I know. I feel bad now because, you know, no, Brad, so where did I get that mentality from, Brad? We've covered a lot of races here on PTR TV, one of our bigger leagues, the area iRacing series. May or may not be back. The debate is still out on that, but a lot of high-tier drivers raced in that series, and they'd be in for one-off, you know, or part-time schedules, and when the race didn't go their way, they just pulled off and quit. And we've seen it enough times that it's kind of just spawned in my head, and I like to be apologetic when I false claim something here. So that'll be the last time. I'm sure he'll let me get over it here. But look at him, like 2 trailer park girls. Keaton Crothers going around the outside.
Now that is impressive there from Crothers, sending that one through and around, keeping a push alive here as he goes through in that 809 against Hopkins in the 10. And then watch out Corey. Corey might want to dive down the inside and see if he can't find his way through.
Yeah, that 809, give it to me one more time, but he's not getting low. He's getting high on the racetrack, not the high that that song kind of makes you believe, but to the inside. Al Corey, again, he's in the top 10, looking for a little bit more. Our Atlanta 1/1000th of a winner finish thing. Cam Kane in 10th right now, and he's trying to see what he can do as well. As we are now about 10 laps to go before what we expect to be the green flag pit stop window. We are on our stint here about, what is it? Let's just use these drivers as a guinea pig. Cam Kane, 28 laps. We were told 35 is the range. Dan Williams, maybe going with the undercut unless something happened to him.
I don't think anything's happened. I see a little bit of right front damage potentially, but I don't think anything's happened. My guess is he is just going for something a little bit different here. Right side goes up here as we cross for lap 77 this time by, continuing along, and Elton Wu continuing with a steady lead.
I know why. Because it splits the last segment in half. Because if you did 85, then you're going to pit with about 15 to go. That's not a lot. So why not take the last 2 segments of the race, the last 2 potential green flag stints, why not split them down the middle, get a little bit of the tire advantage? That's actually a pretty good call in my rudimentary mind there. But you could see the fall off. We were predicted about 1.5 seconds. We're not too far off of that, about 1.3 seconds. So for every lap that Dan Williams remains on the racetrack and these drivers are on old tires, he's clicking off and he's going to make that time gained. So not a bad call, and I think it's actually the correct call.
I think it's definitely the right call there. I think it's a very good decision that he's made.
Why would you want to run a 15-lap stint on fresh tires and not get the most out of them when you can run a 30-lap stint and make it even? And I think Steve McClendon saw that or heard me on the broadcast and said, all right, I'm in. He wants to get off those tires as quickly as possible, and he needs to do whatever he can to eat into that 7-second gap that he had. Now the Wooster needs to be on high alert, and he needs to be pitting immediately to stop McClendon from gaining anything that he doesn't want him to get. Nerney in as well. This is going to bring everybody in, I believe.
Yeah, I think that we just watched a absolute...
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, I was trying to think how to phrase it, but yeah, that is exactly what we just saw coming through.
Whoa, Pitt!
Everyone
Pitt! Why are you not pitting? Can we bring him in the booth and tell him to pit? No, we can't tell. We can't manipulate the race because otherwise we'll get in trouble for that. But Helton, this is what you. These champion. This is obviously not a championship battle. This is a 3-race mini set, which who knows? You may or may not see that in the real world next year. But when you know who your competitors are that you need to beat, the number one thing you should do, if you know you can beat them on pace, is to beat them on pace. Play strategy for shred. Take out the biases, take out the potential mistakes, take out any issues. If you need to, just beat them at their own game. So, going off strategy now, this is going to let McClendon close on in. He was 6 seconds back. He might be 2 seconds back. He might be right on his bumper. So, yeah, and another lap in as well. So, it looks like Wu is going to run the tank dry.
Does he think he'll have that much of a tire difference? Like, that's what I'm trying to sort of
Baxter in.
figure out here. I don't think that was a good decision personally.
Yeah, Hopkins in as well. So let's see this time by. Looks like this time by he's coming in. Yep, pulling on down. No mistakes. Get down to that speed limit at the cone. There comes Bradley to follow. Nice smooth stomp. If anything, give up a couple tenths because I'd rather lose a couple tenths than have a speeding penalty. But Brown will come in. That gives the lead temporarily to Mark Herzog, who I'm going to say Herzog's pace over the last month or so has certainly been a lot higher. So that 57 car, watch out for him in subsequent seasons here in TBP. And he will take that 57 Camry to the attention of his virtual crew.
Good call there for him. And then coming through Cameron Kane as well. That will roll the lead out to
Dylan temporarily, but Dylan's on his way in. Here comes the Catster. I mean, I guess that name really doesn't work too well.
I was gonna say not the Catster, the Cat's Meow. So
all right, here comes the Wooster, the Stir of Woo, exiting the pits. Now where is Stephen McClendon? So he still has a lead. So what's the net gain here? We'll have to wait for telemetry to open on up here and to update as everyone is just all shuffling like a deck of cards here at a table. It looks as though 3 seconds, so 2 seconds. So he lost 4 seconds by pitting those few laps later. Did Woo, but again, that might work to his advantage. I just thought it was more of a risk than it was worth taking personally.
Here's the thing, is me looking at it, I would have pit as soon as I saw McClendon.
Yeah, exactly.
That is because, I mean, that's the guy you're trying to beat. And unless you really think he's going to screw up strategy, which I don't, I would have went with him.
The other thing that may come into play here, and another bonus point for fastest lap. Now the track temp here, as we get a little bit cooler. Well, actually, no, we're about stable here. It's again 2:18 virtual time. Again, we're racing out of the November 9th date. And that's why you see the low shadows, because, you know, daylight savings time and orbits and solar angles and all that fun stuff that iRacing emulates. Smoke to the inside of the max stretch. That shouldn't bring out a caution. That is Clifford, the big red dog of the, oh jeepers, Jesus Christ, on a motorbike.
Did he just pull like an F1 style goof up here?
Yeah.
How did that not cause a caution?
Because it was largely off the track. Now, I'm going to give him a little reprieve. It is redonkulously bumpy down there on the inside, down there on the flat. It is ridiculously bumpy. So that is not as difficult to do, well, as you may think. So that it's easy to do that. Where I will give him credit is he managed to keep it off the track and not manipulate the race, and now I think he's watching the broadcast because now he's running ridiculously obscene lines because he knows that I find that interesting. So Adam Highline Shaw earning his stripes. But look at the gaggle up front, Brad.
Elton Wu back up front, and we're 3 wide for P3. Sean Bradley into second. Justin Baxter saying, hey, you know what? I'd love to win the final race of the season, end the season on a high line here, and see if I can't set some momentum for season 10. He's fighting Mark Herzog here, inside to outside. Let's see how this battle goes. Is behind. I mean, Steve McClendon to a league of his own here, going through the backstretch. Just nowhere to be found in this mix.
Now do your math, Brad. Right now, 7 points to the benefit of the Wooster. Now another point, a stage point benefit goes to McClendon because he finished 1 point higher. Does that make this a draw?
As of right now, McClendon is 5 points below Brown. If Brown finishes in P23 where he's at right now.
In relation to the Wooster.
Oh, in relation to the Wooster.
The Wooster was, as we ring up our points, he was only 7 points. No, Emmert. Oh, my God. Never mind. Hi, LOL. Don't worry about me. For some reason, I was just mixing up the Wooster and Emmert this whole time. Creating a
Emmert just pit.
Yeah, remember Emmert was also off strategy as well because he was trying something different. He didn't take tires because he wanted to keep a strategy set. So he'll actually have more tires he'll have another set of tires on the wall beyond what everybody else has for a super late race caution. But for some reason, I feel dumb.
Hold on. Corey, I just realized something though with Emmert. Emmert doesn't have to pit again for fuel. Everyone else does.
Oh, wait. Because we're at 32 to go. He's 1 lap down. All right, so now we got to do now we have to do additional math because this is always fun. Let's use the Wooster as an example here. 38 seconds around this place. Now, considering the fact that, let's just say it takes another 3 or 4 seconds to that to get up to speed. Let's just say it takes 43 seconds to do a full pit stop. He's going to have to gain 43 seconds. Is he more than 43 seconds down? Math, I don't know. But we got a lot of math to do. We got a lot of things to consider here, and we are going to go to our one and only about 2-minute commercial break here. We'll be right back because we have to do our recap from the other race. We've been so busy. We forgot to do our Atlanta recap. Perfect time to do it.
November 16th, 2025 brought the Triple Bypass Nichols Oil Pros Series to Echo Park Speedway for the No Blinker, No Problem 130, an action-packed brawl on the Full Throttle Oval. 10 leaders traded control a dozen times, and 6 cautions slowed the pace for 18 laps as drivers fought through traffic and tight exits. The event carried special significance with series admin Steve McClendon serving as sponsor, and the entire race was broadcast live on YouTube by Primetime Racing TV. Cameron Kane delivered a breakthrough performance, scoring his first career win in the number 37 machine. Starting way back in 24th, Kane climbed steadily through the field and led a single but crucial lap on his path to victory. His pace improved with every run, and his ability to stay clean in the closing laps put him exactly where he needed to be when it counted. Just a hair behind him, Sean Bradley finished second in the 77, crossing the line a mere 0.001 seconds back. Bradley led one lap in one of the closest finishes the series has seen all season. Third went to playoff driver Daniel Williams in the 35, who moved up from 20th and led 7 laps while securing 34 points. In fourth, William Emert kept his number 4:05 steady through the long runs, adding 39 points to his season tally in his chase for the championship. Rounding out the top 5 was Donald Ristow, who advanced from 15th to 5th with terrific driving in the dash to the checkered flag. The fastest lap of the race belonged to John Crutchley with a rapid 28.7 second lap, and our pole sitter Keaton Crothers was shuffled back to 12th by race end. Tonight's spotlight shines on Cameron Kane, who captured his first career victory by holding steady under pressure and seizing the moment with flawless timing. Congratulations to Kane on a milestone win at Atlanta's Echo Park Speedway. We hope you enjoyed this triple bypass Nichols Oil Pros series recap. We'll see you next time.
All right, and we're back here on PTR TV for today's coverage of the Nichols Oil Pro Season 9 finale here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. 125 laps. It is the Raw Dog Rumble 125. Myself, Corey Silva, in the booth and in the production truck. Brad Dalton here to help me with all of the calls. As usual, again, last race of the season, a championship picture on the line. Elton Wu is a playoff driver, but not quite in the championship picture. We're watching Steve McClendon, who is battling with Jeremy Brown, who had some massive connection issues. He is 6 laps down and really just putting around. The only other driver with a plausible shot at the championship is William Emert, who is on an alternate strategy. He is 1 lap down, but he can stay on the circuit for the rest of the race. Everybody else should need to make a pit stop, but will that be enough? We don't know. Brad, are you back? Because I didn't really get... I kind of came back before you told me. Oh, Brad's still doing things at the little John room, so... but either way, Elton Wu has been by far the fastest car here today. He passed Steve McClendon on the racetrack. Steve McClendon, who has been on an alternate pit strategy the majority of the race. And Steve McClendon actually made a pit stop already for, I believe, his final stop of the race. He took 2 tires, 9 seconds. So that is another call. He needs to get as high up as he can. So Steve McClendon taking 2 tires on his final stop. Everybody coming on in now. Here is Dylan Freeman also taking 2 tires. Now 2 tires is something that's not been practiced that we know of. Maybe they did it in pre-race testing or midweek testing. But 2 tires certainly has the opportunity to throw you out of the loop here, and has been known to cause some spins.
I think 2 tires will be interesting to watch and see. We know somebody's going to take it. We know a few drivers are going to gamble on the 2 tires, and the whole thing that I'm going to be wondering with that is, you know, as you said, Corey, it's going to cause spins here and there and nowhere. But big thing is who can keep it together, who cannot keep it together as we go through. 9-second pit stop for McClendon, and I'm just waiting to see how that pays off for him.
Now, like you said prior to the break, and I kind of regurgitated that, Emert, he should be able to stay on the racetrack the whole time. And ironically, you can see right there, look who is only about 2 cars in his mirror there, and that is McClendon. McClendon has 6-lap fresher right side tires, but Emmert has fresher left side tires. So take your pick as to which one of those is more advantageous. But either way, with what McClendon has to do in relation to winning this championship, Emmert needs a lot more than 1 or 2 spots of difference. So even where they stand now, it's not going to be enough for Emmert to be able to be crowned victorious tonight.
Not at all, unfortunately, here, unless something purely catastrophic happens, which I don't know will happen. Kind of live update here and look at the points. If they finish how they are sitting, it will be a 16-point swing in the good for McClendon, which is really kind of set him up well. That unfortunate disconnect there for Jeremy Brown sort of really changed things in a number of ways, which, again, I kind of wasn't expecting at all as these drivers continue to battle it out here and go through. It's just, again, it's a heartbreaking thing when a championship ends up like that. And, I mean, Corey, again, you know my opinion of playoffs and my thoughts on that. It's just, I guess it's the same thing, though, as, blowing an engine or something like that happening in real life. As more pit stops are cycling through and things are cycling around with these 16 laps to go here, we knew that most of the drivers who pit kind of on schedule would have to do an extra fuel pit stop, and it looks like we're hitting that point where drivers are opting to do that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have a 3-race little mini set, better than the 1-race situation that is in the real world, and we don't know what that'll amount to, but should be having changes on that soon. But yeah, I think if, we always bring up the 1992 NASCAR Cup because that was the Winston Cup with 5 drivers with a realistic chance. If your engine blows in race 36, you could just relate that to just bad luck of the draw. Who's to say that engine couldn't have blown at race 12? But it shows your only engine issue of the year happened to be in the final race. I think that's easier to swallow than having a perfect race and then your one mistake just happens to be at a race that's artificially been made more important than the rest of them. I think that is the main issue that many of us have with it. But we'll see what the real world does, and I'm sure that'll emulate down into the virtual world, so to speak. But McClendon and Nerney, who next season, I think Nerney is going to be one of these drivers who is right up here in the playoff fight. He gets by McClendon and soon to get by Emmert, who, as Nerney has 4 fresh tires, fresher than the 2 drivers he's battling with right now.
Yeah, and those fresh tires making all the difference. And again, I talk with Nerney a lot, and Nerney hadn't raced oval in a hot minute. So when he saw we were streaming Triple Bypass, and he spent a lot of his time over on Elbows Out on Wednesday nights on the roadside. And when he saw we were streaming Triple Bypass, he said, "Hey, I would like to race that. Send me an invite link." Which, by the way, if you want to join the league before next season and run some fun stuff during the winter, check the description here of the YouTube video, whether you're watching this live or not. But yeah, he's jumped in. He's been a force here, and as the season's gone, his confidence has went up, his comfort has went up here in this next-gen car. So I have a feeling that next season he is going to be just a force to be reckoned with. I mean, no better way to phrase it other than he is going to be scary next season. Scary good.
Well, you would hope so, but you never know who's going to be partaking next season and what drivers will learn and whatnot. But as it is right now, we still have the top 7 who have stayed out. Now, what they're hoping for is they have about, say, 5 laps max in the tank, so to speak. So if a caution is to come out in the next 5 laps, traps a lot of guys off the pace, traps a lot of guys a lap down, and throws a lot of wrenches into what could be the last ending of this race. But we've been green since the stage, which is, again, this is what you expect out of Triple Bypass. This is what we grew to know and love. Just a couple races that threw us astray as McClendon back there in 12th. And he gets by Emmert. And will Sean Bradley be someone he is able to pass? That'll be no, because Bradley is on much better tires.
Yeah, watching here, just trying to see if there's anything to give, and the answer, as you said, Corey, is a resounding no. Continuing along here, down 10 laps to go, and I think at this point, really, this race has just went upside down one way to another here from how any of us expected it. As Nerdy's getting pushed by Baxter here, Nerdy will defend the inside. Justin Baxter will go outside line here. He'll want the run off of 2 if he can get it here. Nerdy a slight wiggle in the rear, but able to hold on to it, build a little bit of a gap here. And now we jump back up with the Wooster and Derek Hatt battling it out.
And Elton Wu, how many laps has he led today? It has been a myriad of them. It's been 66 on the day. And once this shuffles out, top 4 pit, it's his race to lose. His next competition, realistically, is Nerney. And Nerney is quite a ways back. So Elton Wu on pace to get, I believe, his 2nd win of the season. Just makes him wonder, a couple more good runs here and there through the difficult weeks of the past, and maybe it would be his championship. You never quite know. But here's Benson in again, pulling the plug. There's no way you can make it 41 laps. Mark Herzog might be willing to try, but I think it defies physics. But either way, whether it does or not, no, actually no, Wu is about to unlap himself. This is actually a very important thing right now, as here goes Caleb Brown in. Elton Wu, get on the lead lap. If caution comes out, you want to be on the lead lap. You don't want to have to be the wave around guy.
Let's see here as he goes through. He's trying to work his way around. Herzog just a couple cars ahead there for him to get through as Caleb Brown, Matthew Epting are into the pits going through. It's a weird look at the leaderboard when everyone but the leader is a lap down.
Yeah, it's like 1982 again.
This is such a peculiar situation. Again, though, we know Herzog has to pit, and he dives in. I was going to say, because that's 35 laps he's been out there, and as he goes, we will relegate the lead to... no!
He's doing donuts. He didn't win, bro. But... I don't know if he adjusted brake bias. Some drivers will use the brake here at Charlotte. So I don't know if he... had to adjust brake bias or he didn't do it, but either way, a little faux pas with a few laps to go, and that will give the lead to the Wooster in short order here as he comes on to the front straightaway. Sean Bradley 6 seconds back in the 3rd spot, which will be 2nd, and then Nerdy, Baxter, and Steve McClendon. He is going to be on the outskirts of the top 5, so all in all, not a championship car today. Well, maybe it would have been, but the championship lining up in his favor.
Again, one of those things with the championship, what are you going to do? Do you want to really gamble it out, or are you just going to drive the race you need to drive? I mean, you don't have to win to get it. You just have to finish, basically, is the position he's at. Really, the run he needed to do was finish ahead of Jeremy Brown or within a position of Jeremy Brown behind him to really hold on to it, and I mean, he's done just that. All he's got to do is just bring it through. A top 5 does it. It secures it. It's nothing crazy for him. Unofficially, of course, I haven't calculated the points, so nobody quote me on that here. Post-race, we'll try to do some quick point calculations and try to get quick confirmation from admin of an official champion. But as of right now, I'm going to unofficially say that it is McClendon's championship to lose.
Seems to be the case here, and multiple times during this season, Brad, we talked about when is he going to win? When is he going to win? He had the runs, and just ultimately, for some reason or another, it just did not work in his favor. But today seeming to be the day. There's 2 laps to go. The Wooster up by 4.5 seconds, trying to end the season on a high note.
Yeah, Elton Wu having a beautiful run there, and that number 5 is the 48 of Naj Kretschley. Will work his way around to get back on the lead lap, and for Elton Wu, I mean, that's fine. Caleb Bass can come through as well. I mean, he could let both those cars through. He's got a 5-second lead, and Elton Wu has been the car to beat today in those Reese's Peanut Butter Cups car as Barney. There's the white flag. 1 lap to go here, Corey.
Elton Wu going for his 2nd win of the season, his 2nd career win, a playoff driver who playoffs didn't go the way he needed. This could have been a different story had a couple runs been a little different, but that will be all non-significant. A little bit of a contact there, Caleb Bass to the back of the field, but then Steve McClendon, alternate strategy. he played here today. We questioned him, but it still is going to work in his favor. Coming down the backstretch, our back-to-back champion, looking to go 3-time. Elton Wu gets the race win, and Steve McClendon for the 3rd consecutive time. He is going to get another plaque, another trophy, another championship. Steve McClendon, Season 9 Nichols Oil's Pros champion.
What a
Unofficially.
wonderful... by the math, it's by 14 points over Emmert.
But the car has to pass inspection.
By my unofficial math.
The car has to pass inspection and all that other stuff. There's the boss man, Al Corey. And again, other drivers, William Emmert. He was one of the ones who had a fighting chance. He gave it his all on an alternate strategy, finishes in 6th. And you have to feel for Jeremy Brown, who I again will apologize to. You didn't bail just because you weren't going to win. You had connection issues in the worst possible time. But Elton Wu, again, got to celebrate him because he drove his butt off and had a career race, really. Not a plate race. You know, he drove, and that's how you pass Tech, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, just knock it into the wall. You might as well. It's always a good option.
And then Steve McClendon here. Again, everyone's failing Tech here, but again, our Nichols Oil's Pro champion, Steve McClendon, 3-time consecutive. He has his famous picture here on our overlays with his 2 trophies. Where is he going to balance the 3rd one, Brad? Is he going to get a necklace for it?
Probably. If we're honest, he probably will.
So he's going to burn it on down here on the front straightaway at Charlotte. Again, we were talking all season. It took him till, what was it, very near the playoffs to get that win, Brad, as we have dual burnouts going on. It took him nearly to the playoffs to get the first win. And again, kind of how Jimmy Johnson did in all of his championships, got hot at the right time.
That is the key. And, you know, that sometimes makes the difference is if you do it just right there at the end, I mean, or just when you need to, it's not all about being uncontrollably dominant. You just do what you need to do when you need to do it. And Elton Wu did that today here with a 4.1 second win over Sean Bradley, who was very much in the top of the season. Didn't see him up in the front, but again, it's a season of what could have been for Sean Bradley. Nerney there in 3rd place. Great podium run for him. Justin Baxter in 4th. And of course, your unofficial champion, Steve McClendon, in P5 that I believe we have the potential confirmation coming in for. I'm waiting for it. I don't see it yet. William Emmert in P6, Hopkins in 7th, Crothers in P8, Herzog in 9th. Daniel Williams rounds out the top 10 here.
And 11th through 20th, the boss man, Al Corey Benson in 12th. Our Atlanta winner, Cam Keen in 13th. And John Naj Crutchley in 14th. Caleb Bass in 15th. Dylan Freeman back to 16th. Brown, Cat, Ruelas, and Seymour are the top 20. And then just to round out our few stragglers, Jeremy Brown, the heartbreak story. Matthew Efting, one of our race sponsors. Adam, the Big Red Shaw, Highline. Shaw, didn't say that one right, but he's 23rd. And then Ben Harcum, a catastrophic hit on the front stretch, 93 laps down. But we will go, I guess we have an extra interview here today, but all in good fun. But let's start with our race winner, Elton Wu, the Wooster. Of course, how do I dare call you your name? Who am I? But you drove really a career race here tonight, man. You passed Steve on pure merit, and really, you played the strategy conservatively. You did everything right. You dominated the race. How does this one feel, man? Hey, hello? Brad, I don't want to repeat all that. Am I going to have to repeat all that?
You might have to repeat all that, actually.
All right, technical difficulties for the Wooster. We'll get back to him, but let's have you talk to our Canadian friend in the form of Sean Bradley as our P2 driver on the evening.
Sean Bradley finished in 2nd place, man. Charlotte treated you pretty well. How'd it feel?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. The dirty air was insane, though. Even down the straights, if you got too close to a car, it would start pushing it backwards. It was just, you couldn't do anything about it. So I was trying to track down Elton Wu there and use a different lane. But as soon as I got behind him again on the straights, it just bogged right down. So that's next gen racing, though. The setup was good. Track felt great. P2 is good enough. I'll take it.
Yeah, man, it was a good run, and I kind of want to ask you about the season as a whole. You know, Sean, you were running really great here in the season. You had some contentions. I know you had some different stuff happen, and you had to withdraw from the championship. But, you know, looking back at the season, I feel like this was a very good one for you, and I feel like it sets up strong momentum for you for next season in 2026. How do you feel about it as a whole?
I'll be back in 2026. I think my full-time season days are behind me, though. I won't be making a run at the championship.
I hate to hear that, man, because definitely seems like you could have had a great run here going through. But also thinking about that season as a whole and looking forward into next season, do you have any exciting holiday plans that you're going to be looking forward to?
No, not really. We're going to be doing some winter, league racing in December, so I'll be joining some of those. But no, nothing really exciting. How about you guys?
You racing skippies?
Yeah,
I think I will be. Yeah, I'll try to join that. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
See you there, bud.
All right. Well,
Sean, man, great run. Anyone you want to thank or shout out before we let you go?
Oh, big shout out to the league, Tex for sponsoring the series. All the admin guys that run this thing. Yeah, and shout out to you guys too. You did a great job this season.
Awesome, man. Thanks, Sean. Take it easy. And we'll see you in some skippies here in a few weeks.
All right. See you there.
See ya.
all right, we'll try again with the Wooster here. Elton, you got us this time, bud? All right, Brad, do you want to pretend to be Elton in his interview?
Sure, I can do that, and if he randomly chimes in, then we'll let him take over. Yeah, Corey, hey, that was a fun run. Yeah, had a great number 5 Toyota here running through. Obviously some fast guys, and well, I got the strategy right and held on there, 9th to 1st. Great run.
How did it feel to pass Steve McClendon on the racetrack? Must have felt like a boss.
It was kind of terrifying, I'm not going to lie, but also he made it really easy. I think he was thinking about the championship and not worried about me.
All right, Elton, are you actually here yet?
No.
All right, anyone you want to thank? The Wooster Brad version?
Yeah, I want to thank my family, my friends, Reese's, Toyota. Big thanks to all the admin here at Triple Bypass, and a big thanks to Tex, and a big thanks to PTR TV for bringing these streams. They're a lot of fun to watch.
All right, Elton, if you do come back, you could have a word, but we'll let you go fictitiously for now.
Oh, thanks. Bye.
And well, let's just get to our champion, and then we'll let you have Nerdy at the very end if he's still here. So Steve, I guess at this point, official 3-time consecutive Triple Bypass Nichols Oils Pro Season 9 champion. We talked to you at the stage, and you had that alternate strategy, pitting early, you paid the price for it, and then I guess you kind of always were back from behind, but ultimately your competitors didn't fare as well, and it worked out nonetheless, man. How do you kind of summarize the day and the feeling of being Mr. 3-time?
Well, it feels good for sure. I've had a rough day, so this helps make it feel a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, getting a stage win was really the biggest point to the day, like getting those extra points. Then you could kind of get off strategy and just make sure you were close. So yeah, I ultimately paid the price to not have a shot at the win, but today wasn't about that. Today was about getting the big trophy. So we got that goal done, and it's a good day.
Yeah, exactly that. And then you have a couple off weeks, but we know with some drivers kind of came into the league late in the season. They weren't championship drivers, and if they run full time next year, I think the competitive nature is going to be turned up to the next level. How hard is it going to be to go 4 in a row in season 10?
it's going to be real hard because I'm not going to be able to do it.
Oh,
so
we're getting balloons
sucks, man.
pop, Brad, left and right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, boys. Yeah, we got a lot of traveling happening in January, so I'm going to try my damnedest, but it is not looking good for the home team.
All right. Well, at the very least, we hope to see you in a Skippy race at some point in December. But I know you got someone to thank, a lot of people to thank, or just final words on what I guess could be your final championship speech. I want to thank all the guys in the league, man. They were great this year. We had a little rough patch through the middle there, but towards the end we had great turnout, great racing, and we can't do this without all the drivers and all they do. So I want to give a big shout out to all of them, the admin team, and Al for all he does. He does a lot in the background that not everybody knows about. So I want to thank him. Thank Tex for what he does. Told everybody before the race to go buy some oil. Everything he does is a lot for this, so we really appreciate that. And then all what y'all do, appreciate that, man. It's a lot of fun to go back and watch, and I know I got a bunch of friends and family that watch every week, and they enjoy you guys, and I enjoy it. So just thank y'all, and thanks for putting up with us there for the few stretch of races there where it got pretty bad. And then all my guys on Twisty Bits, we had a great weekend. We ran the 24 hours yesterday with 2 different cars, finished first and third in 2 different splits. So it's been a good weekend for the team. So all those guys, they help out on the back end testing too throughout the week. So then my buddy Nathan with Catamount Solutions, and his name's on the car. And then just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully we will talk to y'all in January. All right, man. Congrats again. Best wishes for the holidays. And are you gonna make one Skippy race with us?
Oh, I'm planning on it. I got to get over there in that Discord. Yeah, I got to get in that Discord. I'm not over there yet, but I'm going to get in there. We're going to have a blast.
I feel like Cletus. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah. But all right, congrats, man. We'll catch you.
All right, y'all take it easy. Thanks.
Oh.
Oh, you cut him off.
Premature. LOL. And Nerdy earned it. Brad, have at it.
One Mr. Nerney who finished up in P3. Sir, how does it feel to finish on the podium in the final race of the season?
Feels great. Feels like I left the season on a strong note, at least.
So we said this in the broadcast. We think that next season you're going to be very scary. I mean, you went 18th to 3rd today. What's your plans for the holidays and the off season? What are we thinking in 2026 for you?
Honestly, holidays, off season, I'm going to be grinding, putting laps down, just trying to get faster, better on long runs, and keep working.
Will you be joining us for the Skippies?
Maybe.
So yes, he'll be joining at least one, is what I heard.
Yes. Yeah.
With that being said, I'm going to ask the final fun question here. Anyone you want to thank or shout out before we let you go, Zach?
Thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thank you, Brad, for showing me the league. Thank the whole admin team for everything they do. I know it's been probably stressful towards the later end of this season, but at least we finished on a strong note with the cautions too. And yeah, friends, family, all that fun stuff.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations on the P3, Zach. Good to see you. And well, we'll see how you do against me and Corey in some Skippies during the off season.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Oh, it's going to be great, man. Take it easy.
Thank you.
All right, well, that'll wrap up our post-race show, Brad. Our Season 9 champion, our 3-time and potentially, that's it, champion, Steve McClendon, Real World, taking over a lot of these drivers' lives, but I'm sure he'll be in whenever he can. That's just the nature of sim racing. All in all, how do you summarize the event and ultimately our Season 9 as a totality?
Absolutely amazing. Now, we do know that sometimes drivers say, they can't do something and then life changes and they actually do end up making it. So we just got to sort of sit and wait and see what happens. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here this season, all of the growth that we've seen on the channel. And again, as we keep alluding to, the Skippies are going to be so much fun during December. They will be broadcasted, which I'm excited for. It'll be a different style, but hopefully everyone enjoys it. And then, of course, come January, if the league brings us back, back? Well, we're going to have a great run in season number 10. They should be bringing us back. They haven't fired us yet, but we just don't know the schedule yet. So stay tuned to socials and all the fun stuff to find out when that happens.
Yeah, the contract says they have to give us notice, and we didn't get notice yet. But anyways, like, share, comment, subscribe on our way to 1,900 subscribers. We'll be back with some more racing next week in the form of Elbows Out. And might be about it. Might be a little bit of an off week, but either way, we'll get recharged for 2026. That's going to be Corey and Brad signing out of the booth. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.
See you.